Well, hello and welcome to the CRM Zen Show, where we talk about all things Zoho. This is episode 351 for Friday, April 18th, 2025. Breaking the lead chain of command from Zenatta Consulting. I'm Brett Martin.
And I'm Tyler Colt, and let's get right on into the show.
We should get right on into the show, you know? We really should.
So we should
right on into it. There's a lot of news this week, a lot of good stuff happening. How have you been, Tyler? Good week?
Oh, staying busy. Yeah, staying busy, playing with more and more Zoho AI tools. Mixed experiences. We'll talk a little bit about that here today. Looking forward to Zoholics coming up shockingly soon. About a month out now,
Yes.
We'll be there and out in Houston. I am a media guy. That was my segue. We do have a couple discount codes running. Brett, you want to run everyone through those?
We do. We've got two. So actually, we've got three. But if you use the code Zenatta20, you will get 20% off your ticket price. So as Freddie, as you're watching us on YouTube, you're going to save 20% off that $350 ticket price, $349. And also, if you are buying any of the sessions, we've got a special code for you that's going to get you, is it 35% off, 30% off?
Something like that. Yeah, discount on the workshops as well.
On the workshops, yeah. So, and that is Zenatta CX. We talked about it last week. It's either 30 or 35% off of your workshops, Zenatta CX. And if you are a client of Zenatta Consulting, we have 30 tickets for $99 to give out. So you got to reach out to your consultant and say, I want one of those $99 tickets, and we will hook you up. So that's all there. We finalized our booth this morning. Yeehaw.
How we did.
It was good. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. And with that, let's get right on into the news. You know, Tyler, I was sitting around talking with Tina the other day, and I said, it's really sad. Zoho hasn't released a new product in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Weeks. And what I really need is a way to sync my leads from various lead sources into Biggin or Zoho CRM. And you can do it. There's a variety of ways. You can write some code. You can do it with Zoho Social. You can do it that way. But man, why isn't there a dedicated product for that? Well, guess what, Tyler? Zoho evidently was listening to my private conversation. So I think they're tapped into my Amazon Alexa devices or something. I don't know what's going on, because here we are, Zoho LeadChain. That's right.
Yeah, so LeadChain, pretty cool little application. It's kind of an extension. Yep. So you'll find it in the marketplace, actually, for CRM and Biggin. Connects in with Meta, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Google Ads. They don't really do a good job at telling you that it connects to Google Ads on this homepage, but it does, in fact, serve for that use case as well. So really, this is Zoho kind of trying to create a unified platform for managing getting all the leads from your different paid ad campaigns, right? So a consolidated place. Like Brett was mentioning, you could do this before. You could have Zoho Social set up, which would work for Facebook or Instagram forms. It could run through there and create leads. I think it worked with LinkedIn forms and potentially TikTok. But nice thing is, this is independent of Zoho Social. It also can serve to replace the existing Google Ads integration for Zoho CRM, which is not great. Most people don't really enjoy using that. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. I think it's a good idea. Just consolidate a lot of this. When you're running a lot of paid ads, you do process them pretty similarly. Like Meta might call something a little different, but we all know it's a campaign and an ad group, right? It's the same types of organizational tools. So just being able to consolidate all that in one place should make life pretty easy. UI looks good. I mean, I'm excited to get my hands on it. Probably going to make a little tutorial on this sometime next week, because I do think this is something that could make life a little easier for a lot of people.
I agree. And it's not part of Zoho One. It has separate pricing. So it's really all based on the number of lead syncs you're going to have every month. So it's basically looks like it's about a penny a lead. So if you're paying for it monthly, it's about a penny for every lead coming in. I notice it doesn't really change by, yep, doesn't seem to be much of a discount the higher you go. Oh, a little bit of a discount when you get up to 10,000 leads. Then you're at like 3/4 of a penny a lead. So, or you can get it for free if you got like small leads coming in, and get your first, if you get 50 lead syncs a month coming in for free just to try it out. But it does say here, you got the Google ads, Google lead ads, Google ad leads. I think these are all kind of just backward here. But anyway, there it all is.
One thing you'd probably want to call out is that on the paid version, you also get access to what are called conversion APIs, which basically means that when a lead, let's say, converts or becomes closed won, those will notify back to the ad platform to say, hey, this is a good lead. Give me more leads like this. I'll tell you, we've built an integration before to the Facebook conversion API. It's a pain in the butt. So if that's baked in, that would be really nice because it's onerous. If they can get the Google Ads conversion API tied into this as well, that would be great because that one's even more annoying to have to interact with. So could save quite a lot of time. And if you're investing heavily into paid advertising like this, you really do want to know what's working and what's not. So probably a good investment if you're already budgeting for your ad spend.
So that is Zoho LeadChain. That means there'll be a new page on our website, a new product. It doesn't appear to be in any bundles, although I gotta think this should end up in the Marketing Plus bundle, right? Kind of.
Maybe, but Marketing Plus doesn't include CRM.
True.
And this is really a CRM extension at its core. So yeah, I don't know. It might just be a little additional charge. We'll see. We're seeing a little more of that with Zoho. They're starting to carve little odds and ends out that maybe not everybody needs. So it could be something in that line where it is just going to be a little paid extension for CRM.
Very good. Well, with the 4th of July only 4 months away, I like to prep my flag. So I got my flag out the other day and I unfurled it. I just unfurled that flag. And I kind of think that's one of the few uses for that word. But no, you can now, we're going to unfurl unlimited possibilities in Zoho Cliq with unfurl handlers. Just trips off the tongue. Basically, what this is actually really cool. So if you're using Zoho Cliq, and this is specific to Cliq, you can build a handler that is going to, when you give it a URL, it's basically going to not just drop the link in there, it's going to present it in a very, very, very nice way. You can build your own, and then they're giving you several that that are pre-built for you. So one of them is Aratai, which we don't talk about very much. That's Zoho's own little WhatsApp instant messaging application. If you're using that internally, then you can, as you're looking on the screen, when you drop in the link, it's kind of giving you basic information that you might want if you were using that, and you can download that extension. If you're doing some file sharing, this is really cool. It's basically going to give you the ability to say, hey, preview this, the more options. So rather than just dropping a link in, you've got all the various permissions, and you can kind of set that up on file sharing. And they've got that one. Task management without switching a tab. So if you're using Jira, they built in, it's really odd, there's a Jira extension here. But I haven't, looking on the back end, I didn't see one for sprints, but coming. But they built one for Jira, and they built a couple others, and you can build your own. So you can just say goodbye to dull app links. You can with
very nice
unfurl handlers.
It is nice. I mean, like being able to expand that link, get a little bit of info from it. Why not? Right? It does seem like you can use these in your own extensions or even adjust existing extensions with the different unfurl handling. So yeah, it'd be a cool one. I'd imagine not everyone probably needs this, but those who do and are excited to set it up, it is a cool little piece of functionality.
Yep. Rock and roll. And moving right along, Zoho Desk got an update for their mobile application. And I don't imagine this is both iOS and Android. It basically, you now have a generative AI. You can turn on generative AI for your instant messaging chats in the mobile app.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice little update. So adjust my language, write this for me, make it longer, make it shorter. Really just those same types of updates we talked about a few times for desk, but now supported for mobile usage in an IM chat.
Yes. And it is Android and iOS. I just needed to scroll down a little bit. So very cool stuff. All righty. And moving right along, Zoho Inventories January through March updates. We've covered a few of them, but I think some of these they just never even did an announcement on, so we thought it was kind of worth talking about some of these. You can now have email insights on your sales order. All that means is you send an email through inventory, it's going to let you know if it was opened, viewed. There you go. Stock availability filter in stock counts, very important. We'll talk about that a little bit more here. And view and customize stock status in transactions. So you were commenting on this. This is super important.
Yeah,
right?
These are kind of the big two. We're going to do a full video running through all of these, so keep an eye out for that. But really the big ones I'd call out here is just they're making stock or available stock more useful. So inside of inventory, if I have a confirmed sales order that's not yet been invoiced, that will still be in my stock on hand, but it will no longer be in my available stock. And so a lot of these metrics, like if you're running a stock count, you want to filter for low stock items, that was only counting low stock in your stock on hand. So anything that you've not shipped out or invoiced for is not going to be considered out of stock. So honestly, a lot of people are going to prefer to use available for sale for that, because if I'm, on the phone with a client, I'm making a sales order for them. It doesn't matter what my stock on hand is if all of it's already committed for sales. I really need to know, do I need to back order this, which would more be based on your available stock. So kind of a nice little update there. Again, not everybody needs it, but companies that run pretty tight inventories and lower general stocks, definitely going to be really useful. Last one I'd call out here is the drop shipping address on a sales order. This is really nice in cases, especially where you're creating a sales order with a piece of code. Before, what you would have to do is add it as an address to the customer and then reference that address. Now you can technically add an address directly to the sales order payload, which just saves you a step, right, of having to create it as a permanent customer address, especially if you know it's temporary. It might be like a job site location, right? And it's not their office. You just need something to go there one time.
Yep. And they made quite a few other various enhancements. Like you said, we're going to do a kind of a video on this to step you through all of them. But if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see this is a long, long article I'm scrolling through, and we could probably do a whole show on it, which I think you're going to do. So anyway, nice enhancements to Zoho Inventory. And then we're going to wrap up the news with the Zoho projects, quarterly updates. We were going to leave this out of the show, but we're not sure if these are updates or not. So here's a roundup of the features and enhancements for Q1. Working with Zoho projects data in Power BI? Question. We've already covered this. You can now integrate it with Power BI, which is great. Are you using the same default invite messages every time? If you are, well, you don't have to. You can set up reusable templates.
For audio listeners, the bit here is that all of the headers are questions in this article for some reason. So this one actually is
adding tasks on the go.
This one, it feels a bit more like a question. So yeah, nothing too major in these, to be honest. They're improving some of those accessibility features. That's a big goal for them across a lot of different applications, but really the majority of these are relatively minor updates.
Yes. Restrict baseline visibility in the Gantt chart. You can do all these things. Anyway, they're actually cool updates, and you should go through and you should read them. We have talked about most of them, but they've done nice jobs, Zoho projects team. I kid because I love. You know that. It's from the heart. It is. And with that, let's get to our code share of the week. All righty. Andrew has given us a nice little function here that is basically going to give you a randomized number generator with letters, numbers, symbols. And it's he's doing this. He did it for some discount codes that were being created. So once you get this randomized number, you could take it, feed it into something, and then send it to someone. So it'd be like a one-time use discount code, right?
Yep.
Kind of like our Zenatta 20 is, because it seems to expire every day. So, but yes, it's a one-time.
That's a real laugh. That's not on the show laugh. That was a good one. It does expire constantly. So let us know if it's expired by the time you see this and try to use it. Yeah, if
it is, just nice let us know and we'll get it turned back on, hopefully.
Yep. This is a nice one. I've used something similar to this before we had a client, we were making work drive folders and we were going to share them with the client, but we needed passwords on them. And so we just wanted to nicely and easily create a randomized 24 character string and kind of feed it in. In this case, it's for the use case of a discount code. The one thing I would say that this code share doesn't give you is, one, you should put these somewhere. You should have like a module for like discount codes, and you just write them once they're created to make sure they're unique, right? It's very unlikely that you're going to make the same one twice with this approach, but I'm a bit of a crazy person and I'd probably want to double check. So you'd really just check that module, and then if there's anything found, retry it, right? Re-randomize it and check again. And then once you're good, you'd move forward. So one little note that you might just want to put it somewhere just to make sure, because these should only be redeemable once. You'd hate for someone to get a discount and go like, oh, it's not working, like people are experiencing sometimes with the Zenatta 20 discount code. So yeah, in general, you just want to make sure you put it somewhere. But other than that, great little code share for running a randomizer.
Yeah, cool stuff. Thank you, Andrew. And hey, we would love it if you would head over to club.zenatta.com. That's our online social platform where basically Zoho users and the entire Zenatta team get in there. You can ask questions. You can read all the latest news that we're going to talk about on this show. It's updated daily. Kind of worth checking all of that stuff out. And looks like it hasn't been updated daily, but usually it's updated daily. And also there's our general discussion forum and all of those things. So anyway, please head over to club.zenatta.com. All we need is your email just to verify you are you, so we can send you a link to make sure that you're not some bot in here. And it's a great place to get questions answered and talk to other Zoho users. And with that, let's head over to the Zenatta website and see what we've got going on over there. Got going on.
One of those days, man. One of those days.
It is. Hey, speaking of Zoho projects, we have got this nice little video that was dropped this week by this guy Tyler Colt, who kind of went through and what was the last time we'd done a Zoho projects full product tutorial?
2022. We've done some one-off stuff on it, templates, automation, things like that. And so we thought we would just kind of rerun through the whole thing. My goal here when I make these nowadays for these tutorials is I want to show you the types of things that most people need to do for version 1, right? So what we go through here is like, let's understand what a project is, milestones, task list, tasks. Let's make a template. Let's set up dependencies. Let's build some of those automations for reminders and overdue notifications, right? So kind of the goal there being, you should hopefully have at least a bit of a roadmap of like the things that we as an implementer normally touch when we go in and do an initial build out. Projects is one of those tools where it's got like 30 menus, and then in each menu are sub menus and tabs. So you can go as deep as you care to go. But we like to give these as kind of that overview of, hey, here's a good place to start if you're jumping into Zoho projects. Yeah. And that was pre-haircut, so I'm looking a bit unkept in this video.
Ari, it's unkempt, isn't it? Is it kept or kempt? I think it's unkempt.
Huh.
Yeah. Let's look that up.
It is unkempt.
Yeah. There you go.
I guess they're kind of synonyms.
But
so I'm gonna,
Lauren did let you off the leash for a little while, so you were unkept, just running around. That was it.
Yep. Exactly.
All righty. All right. And with that, let's head over to YouTube and see the 55 other things that Tyler did this week. I have to say it is really, really, I mean, this new cadence that you set up with yourself and Maya, getting these videos out and really kind of answering questions. Feel like, I'd love a video on this. I'd love a video on this. Our goal, I know this may seem counterintuitive, but it's not, is that to really get people diving into Zoho, using the products, using the services. And you should be able to do so much of it yourself. You really should. But you are going to run into things where you're like, oh, wow, this is going to take me way too much time, and you're going to want to hire someone like us or us to do that for you. But we really think that most of it you can do yourself. That's why we have our entire training courses and all those kind of things. And so you're kind of on a roll.
Record the tasks that we do for clients, because sometimes we'll show a client how we did something, and they're like, "Oh, I can give that a try in the future." And like we love that cycle, right? Of kind of teaching how to fish while we're also catching some fish for you, so you don't starve.
Very nice.
Like that one.
Very nice. Anyway, so Ask Zia for Zoho CRM. Now, was this the button that?
No, so this is different. The button is a type of prompt. This is a more robust kind of chat interface that kind of serves three purposes. It either gives you help and training, or gives you insights, so like pulls quick reports for you. And then most importantly, it does configuration for you. So you can add workflows or add reports.
Yes.
I will say, to be candid, and I gave some of this feedback in this video, the creation of workflows and reports is a bit dicey. So you're seeing the attempts here in this video where I got it to work. But it was a bit tricky. Like I asked it for a report of deal amount by stage. And it made me a report. It was really cool. It shows it right here. You can actually see the agent going in and clicking and making the report for you, like interacting with the browser. But it didn't put stage in my report of deal amount by stage. So I had to go in and add that. Or I had a couple issues with it creating a workflow for me, just around like when a lead is created, make a task and associate it to that lead. I had to try that prompt like a few different ways to get it to do it. So your mileage may vary with these. They'll get better quickly, right? And there's a lot of feedback interface in here where you can tell Zoho like, hey, it did good or it didn't. So if you do start using this, definitely like give it that thumbs up, thumbs down. That really helps Zoho, and in the future helps you as the tool gets better. I found the reporting tool, the insights tool, to be not very useful, being candid. Like it just, if you saw in the video there, I asked it for something and it just gave me a list of deal names. And I'm like, hey, you could include the closing date and the stage in that, right? Because I was looking for deals closing this month, right? And it just gave me names. It's like, well, I probably want a little more. So there's, it's not inferring much. You got to tell it what you want to see. So again, these are things that will get better in time. But yeah, Zoho, if you are listening, this is one where there should probably be some more baked in kind of understanding and context, right? Of like how people use the CRM in general. If I'm asking, or even just data things in general, if I'm asking about things closing this month, well, where they're at in the pipeline and when they're supposed to close in this month is kind of like what I would be looking for. So again, I think it'll get better and better with time. But definitely double check.
Weren't you also saying that the same version of this in Creator is actually
phenomenal?
better?
Co-Creator is phenomenally good. Like that wildly exceeded our expectations. It impressed Josh.
Right.
He was looking at the ones that Maya made in some of her videos. I mean, dude, Maya gave it a good prompt, but nothing crazy, and made an order management tool. It made a whole dashboard with widgets and KPIs. It made like inferences about the types of things that people want to know about, like orders, right? Ones that are pending payment, ones that are, whatever. So yeah, maybe there'd be a bit of an opportunity for a bit of cross-pollination there. Just because, yeah, the co-creator one like exceeded our expectations pretty significantly, where it's like, wow, we should really start using this like right away for clients. Like if they've got documentation and stuff, feed that in there. CRM, it's not running us out of business quite yet, because that needs a bit of work.
But as is the nature of the beast with these large language models, they do get better and better and better over time. And this one,
For sure,
just give it a little bit of time. Yep.
Yeah, and the way it's implemented is great. Like the concept and the UI is awesome. So it just needs practice is all.
And you also did a quick little overview of all of our Q1 updates that were in Zoho CRM. This is basically, they dropped this, last week?
Yeah, so we actually quickly covered it on the show, but I did just want to go through and highlight some more because this was a dense one. Like sometimes they do the ones like projects that we touched on this week where it's like, hey, the things we mentioned in the CRM Zen Show, it's good. That's all you really need. But this one was like a 20-minute video of me going through these and kind of recapping, explaining a bit more like why Zoho's done some of these updates. So just some of those things that we don't always have time in this show to go super deep into.
Well, it's like we're just talking about the inventory article.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, it's worth. I mean, how much time did you spend on this?
20 minutes to go through all of these.
20 minutes.
Yeah. So there's a lot in them. Sometimes there isn't, and there's a couple minor things for the quarter, but in this case there was quite a lot. So I thought it'd be worth just going through and highlighting each and every one.
Very nice. And as always, we would love it if you would subscribe to us over on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Zenatta. That's where all of these videos live. So head over to YouTube. You can get all of our new stuff we drop every single week. The CRM Zen Show, the tips, product overviews. It's all right there. And let's see, Tyler, we were so close to an angel getting its wing. Well, this is four subscribers away. Well, I don't know. We could have a little angel like flutter up, the little broken wing. He's almost
not all
wings.
The feathers have grown in yet, but it's doing its best.
I guess next week. Anyway, thanks everybody for supporting us as we continue to do this. And I tell you what, the outpouring of subscribers and great comments is really, really fantastic. So thank you everyone for that. And with that, let's get to our question of the week. All righty. Ramya, who recently a brand new Club Z newcomer, welcome Ramya, has a question for us. When a quote is accepted in Zoho Books, you can create a project using the native projects module, but that project lives in Zoho Books, not Zoho Projects. I prefer the project with each quoted item as a task to be created directly in Zoho Projects for better project management, but the current sync isn't bidirectional. Has anyone found a way to automatically create a Zoho Projects project from an accepted Zoho Books quote with tasks and budgets reflecting the quoted items? What are we going to do here?
Yeah, so definitely possible, Ramya. You are going to need a piece of deluge code to do this. So with that deluge code, when a quote gets accepted, you essentially create a project for that quote. You're going to want that to be linked. Assuming you're using CRM, you might not be. If you are using CRM, then you're going to want to link it to like a deal or a contact and an account. If you're not using a deal, there's kind of, I think it's actually a CRM. You have to have a connection authenticated for CRM and projects. And then there's this magic little API endpoint that you can hit that basically links them so that like this project is for Zenatta, the client. But then once the project is created, you would essentially have your deluge code run for each task or for each quoted item. you would reach in and create a task underneath that project, associating either like a cost budget or a work hours estimate, depending on how you're doing kind of like your budget management. If it's hours based, revenue based, cost based, there's about 1 million budget options inside of Zoho projects. But yeah, really, it's a piece of deluge code. It's nothing too crazy. You might be able to piece it together from different types of things that we have over on Club Z. Shameless self-plug. Over in the code share, we do show a lot of like iteration. If you search in there, I bet we have one about creating a project. Now, a lot of the times we are creating via a template. You wouldn't be doing that here. You'd just be creating a baseline project and then adding each of those quoted items as tasks.
Yep. Very cool. All right, Tyler. Another CRM Zen Show is in the bag.
That it is.
There we go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And Ramya, if you say, you know what, I don't want to do that, I want someone to help me with that code, well, head over to Zenatta.com and click on book a meeting. You'll be talking to a consultant. We got you covered.
And on the website is also where you'll find complete episodes of the show, as well as links to all the stories we discussed today. If you want that news delivered straight to your inbox every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. And last but not least, we always appreciate when you like and subscribe here on YouTube, as well as your choice of podcast app. We will see you next Friday.
Take care, everybody.
The CRM Zen Show was produced by Podcaster Zen.
Well, Tyler, was that a good show?
I think so.
Question mark?
I think.
Good show. Anyway, if you made it this far, I hope you got a chuckle out of that. Great weekend, everybody.